How's it, King and fellas? I'm OrosZ, and this is another episode of Crash Bandicoot. In today's episode, we gotta kill, murder, defeat, slaughter Koala Kong, the most forgettable Crash Bandicoot character. Whose favorite character is Koala Kong? Can you name me one person whose favorite? He never even came back in the fucking original Naughty Dog games. Everybody did. Papu Papu came back as a Crash Team Racing boss fight. But he was obviously much more threatening than fucking in this game. Ripperoo came back in Crash 2 and in Crash Team Racing, so he was definitely a fan favorite. I never realized that Ripperoo was supposed to be a kangaroo. I thought it was like Scooby-Doo, I thought he was a dog. Yeah, I don't even remember what's the gimmick with his fight. He throws boulders at you and there's something about these carts. Oh, like you gotta hit the boulders back at him. No, hold on. So there's TNT falling from the sky, you gotta avoid that obviously. That was fucking cheap. And then he does this like walk. And then he throws a boulder, which is the only boulder you can bounce back at him, which I think they should have visually made it different from the other boulders. And then you gotta make sure not to hit the cart. And that's it. And you hit him 4 times, he's dead. Well, it's a better boss fight than Papu Papu, whatever I used to. It has some involvement in it, you know? And then we have Pinstripe, who's actually my favorite Crash Bandicoot character. His boss fight is even more pathetic than Papu Papu's. But the thing about Pinstripe is that he's just a fucking cool concept. He's a fucking mob boss cartoon character. He wields a fucking Tommy gun as he fucking fires like a fucking crazy person. And they did brought him back in Crash Team Racing. And where he was really fucking difficult, because he had unlimited bombs. He was the pre-last boss fight. Also in that game, he wasn't, I guess, a bad guy. He was kind of an anti-hero because he wanted to defeat OrosZ, except he wanted to get paid for it as well. He didn't do it out of the goodness of his heart like Crash does. He did it for the money. So that's funny. Also, they should have really brought back Pinstripe because, like, in Crash Insanity, he came back in one fucking cutscene with a redesign where he now had a purple suit. And that was it. He appeared in one cutscene. Crash Insanity was infamously, not butchered. Had a lot of cut content. Oh, I did it? I wasn't looking at the screen. I gotta get the fuck up. Pay attention to what I'm doing. Oh look, we're on the 3rd island, I think. Yeah, I think we're already on the 3rd island. And we're in some industrial level, which this level fucking sucks. It's so ugly to look at. There's just fucking platforms and metal everywhere. It's completely visually unappealing. There's some robots flying around, which I guess are cool. And there's some green ooze in the background. Music's cool though. But the visual fucking flair of this level is fucking garbage. I think the ice pipes you can stand on, but not for too long, while the fire ones you cannot touch at all. These robots are funny though, I like them. Close. See, that's how this level looks, it's just this fucking wall in the background, nothing to look at. Nothing interesting to look at, just this fucking ugly, gross, dirty wall. Great. And what was I saying? Pinstripe? Yeah, so he didn't came back in Nitro Kart. He didn't came back in Tag Team Racing, which I think he would have fit pretty great in that game. I don't think he ever oh, never mind, I take that fucking back. He came back in Crash Boom Bang, where he was one of the main characters for some reason. That game is fucking god-awful garbage. But for some reason, features like a lot of, like Tawna comes back in that game. She hasn't made an appearance since Crash 1, and they brought her back in Crash Boom Bang. I guess they brought her boyfriend back, Pinstripe. So 2 really cool characters made a comeback in that god-awful game. Too bad I did any good for that game. Pinstripe just got a cool design though. And so did Tawna, because she had huge tits. Like she always did, I guess. And shit. She was based on Pamela Anderson. I think. Am I at the fucking beginning of this level? Is this level just a fucking long-ass level with no checkpoints? The fuck is this shit? Man, it sucks. Yeah, so... Oh yeah, also there's that funny thing explaining what happened to Tawna after Crash 1, which everybody knows about. But I'm gonna say it anyway. That I think it was in the Japanese manual for the game. They actually revealed that Tawna left Crash, because Crash is some fucking child. And she's a grown-ass woman, and I always thought that their relationship was fucking weird and creeped me the fuck out. Because that's another theory, I don't think I talked about it yet. So, think about it. Crash was mutated to become, you know, more human-like, like he is now. From a normal Bandicoot. Now, animals in the wild don't have a thing like age of consent, right? They just fuck with whoever wants. Just like India. Whatever, and... So, they fuck with, you know, whoever is fucking willing to fuck with them. Well, that was some strange speedrun strategy I just did. And my theory was that Tawna was Crash's girlfriend when they were just normal Bandicoots. How the fuck was that not a kill? Oh, screw you. But then they got mutated into, like, more human-like creatures? How did that not kill them? What the fuck? That's the second robot in a row, and I gotta fucking redo the whole level again. Oh, come the fuck, what is wrong with this fucking game? So my theory is that they were a couple when they were normal Bandicoots, but then they got mutated to be more human-like, and they probably gained more human-like sentience? I don't think that's the right term I used for it. A more human-like conscience, that's what I meant to say. So now that Tawna realized that she's been dating this fucking child, she's kind of like, I don't want to be fucking dating somebody who's like half my size and probably half my age. Because isn't Crash supposed to be like a preteen, you know, like 12, 14, maybe 15? Because Coco's supposed to be like a preteen and she's supposed to be Crash's younger sister, so Crash can't be that fucking much older. He's still supposed to be a kid. While Tawna's like a grown-ass woman and she's supposed to be his girlfriend. That's fucking creepy. And I genuinely dislike that fucking shit of those two. And whenever I see drawings of them kissing, I'm just like, what am I looking at? Child pornography right now? That's this shit. I guess kissing isn't pornography, but it still creeps me the fuck out. Nonetheless. So that's my theory, where she supposedly... And in my headcanon that still sits, you know, because we don't know what happened to the... In my headcanon, that's still part of the canon, that she left it for Pinstripe, because after Crash Insane Trilogy, which I like to think is actually the beginning of the new timeline for Crash, due to one difference, and that is that Coco is present during the events of Crash 1, where she's not present in this game. In Crash Insane Trilogy version of Crash 1, Coco's there. You can play as her, because she time traveled from Crash 3 to Crash 1 to help her brother out in the past. So that's a major fucking difference. And then in Crash 4, which I guess Tag Team Racing Nitro Fuel isn't canon, I'm not sure it might be canon. I guess it is canon, because... I don't know. Let's just say it's canon. I guess Tawna did lift Crash and went into... Instead of dating Pinstripe for money, like a whore that she is, she instead formed some kind of fucking vigilante group with the other fucking bandicoots that the lonely scientist made to fuck, probably? That's also a weird part of Crash Bandicoot lore, like, what exactly is the story behind all the creatures? Because... like in Crash 1, all the creatures we meet are results of Dr. Cortex experiments. But then as the series went on, there's just so many of these creatures that would have no fucking business ever being near Australia. Like, I always think about Isabelle, the Bandicoot, you know, from Crash Bandicoot Field. Like, she's supposed to be Italian. So where did they get a Bandicoot and then she somehow became Italian? So, like, that would mean that Cortex mutated her and what, but made her Italian somehow? Or did she mutate it and then spend her life in Italy and then she got the accent that learned Italian and shit? Like, what the fuck? Also, I guess Liz is supposed to be British. Man, they're kind of like Spice Girls. Oh my god, I think they actually are. Oh, whoa. I'm burned to death. What a bummer. I'm leaning back, there's nothing interesting on the screen. Wake me up when this episode's over so I can say goodbye. And what else? That was my theory about Tawna's relationship with Crash. And exactly that Crash actually got rebooted with the Insane Trilogy because there is a major, slightly minor, never was very important to the story, but there is a story difference. Also, there's a difference that Tawna's not a pushover anymore, so that's different, I guess. Any other slight differences they made? Not really. Everything else is pretty much the same. Yeah, and Coke is also playable in Crash 2, so that's another difference. Yeah. And then in Crash 4, the Tawna we meet is from a different universe. We don't know what happened to the Tawna from the actual Crash universe, which Crash Bandicoot takes place in. Because that's what Crash 4 was all about, interdimensional travel. Even though it said it's about time, it's not. It's about time the game came out, I guess that's what it was referring to, you know. Yeah, it's kind of a dual meaning though. And yeah, that Tawna, the pirate one. By the way, that design of her, it's cool. But when you see the concept design for Tawnas, every single concept design is like much better than the actual one they went with. I don't know why they went with the, in my opinion, weakest looking one. I like the one where she looked kind of like she does, but she had normal hair, because I'm fucking sick of that side-shaved hair. It's so fucking overused and dumb looking. It's fucking stupid, and she had to have like a dumbass blue highlight. Like, fucking, that's lame. It's lame as fuck. Oh, I thought the episode ended. No, it's just a bonus stage. Yeah. And now Crash Team Rumble came out, and I genuinely do not care about that game. It has no story mode, nothing like that. It's just strictly a multiplayer game. It looks nothing like what I would enjoy to play. So I ain't gonna play it. Even though it hurts me that a new Crash game came out and I completely ignored it. I wish they made a new kart racer. I would have been all fucking about it. I would have been there every day doing some daily challenges to unlock every single fucking thing in the game like I did with Nitro Fueled. But yeah, not this game. This game I don't care about. Oh yeah, I was discussing Crash 1 bosses, and then the boss after Pinstripe is Embryo, which... Embryo was also a fight in Twinsanity. That was the weird chapter in Twinsanity where like all the henchmen of Cortex showed up out of nowhere and just like put up a fight. Embryo shows up first, but at least the level leading up to his pathetic, may I add, boss fight had him in it. He didn't say a single thing in that game for some reason. But they did had him in it. And then what? And then Embryo shows up alongside Entropy, and they are completely irrelevant to the fucking story. They just, I don't know what the fuck they did in that game. They just showed up out of nowhere for some fucking reason. kind of what happens. Dingodile shows up later and has one of the best boss fights in that entire game. And he shows up for no fucking reason too. Like, you destroyed his house earlier, but they didn't explain how he got on like, all the way to like a completely different part of the world that he went to put up a fight. And he had kind of the same fight as he did in the third game, but in my opinion, a little bit better. It was much more visually cool. And man, talking about the sound really makes me want to replay it. I love that game. But I gotta emulate it first. And you know what, I gotta figure out how do I transfer files from the Steam Deck to my computer when I finally do emulate this shit and record the fucking game, and then I'll have recordings of the game, but I won't know how the fuck to put them on my computer. But whatever. We did it. And then Embryo was also I think he was. No, he wasn't. He shows up in Mind Over Mutants, but he's not actually a boss fight. You fight Crunch, who he controls. And then Crunch have not came back yet to Crash series, which is a shame, because they could have done something interesting with him. And then in Crash 4, Embryo comes back again. And then this time he is a boss fight, and he does some really strange stuff in his boss fight, and you unlock some cool outfits from his fight, from what I remember. He lays an egg, which is fucking strange. And yeah, I know I'm overdoing this, but I don't really have anything else to say. Bring back Crunch for Crash 5, and make Pinstripe appear again, because there is a wanted poster for Pinstripe in Crash 4, so he still exists, he's still alive, doing crime. It just make him relevant. He's the best character. See you fellas in the next episode. Bye.